What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about bulking benefits, which I'm going to break down into three simple concepts, being looks, recovery, and leverages. So starting off, looks. When you gain, say, 20 pounds, you look much different, much bigger, much more massive. Your shirt size might go from a large to an XL. And if not the letter itself, you just look thicker, period. When you are in a relaxed state, being a normal human being, not trying to pose or flex for Instagram or use special lighting or anything like that, you look massive. And people will tell you that, hey, you look bigger. Yeah, you'll have a chunkier appearance as well. And when you take that shirt off, you might have a bit of fluff. But with the shirt on, you look stacked as hell. And you look yoked as hell as well. Some people might gain half an inch to an inch on their arms. I know a lot of guys, the neck will increase in thickness, which may not be a good thing, but hey, you look thicker. The traps, same thing. Upper back. If you bulk up, your upper back will store some fat, typically speaking. Even the glutes. So all the naturally enhanced muscles that I'm always talking about, neck, traps, upper back, shoulders, forearms, and glutes. In many cases, you'll see fat accumulate around these areas, which makes you look that much bigger. You will look bigger in a bulk state. There's no question about it. That's why your shirts feel so freaking tight. There's something there, okay? Some people are going to say, well, if all you're accumulating is fat, what's the point of bulking at all? Well, again, we go back to it's the looks. You need to understand that massive is massive, period. If you go from 160 pounds to 190 pounds, I guarantee you're going to be bigger at 190. It's just the way it is, and you probably built some muscle too. You're more bloated, you're more fat, you're going to look bigger. So big is big, we need to get that straight. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, what's the point of that? If we know that gaining muscle is a slow process, being natural, why bulk at all? I mean, it's just fat. My response is that it doesn't matter. Who cares if it's just fat? The fact is, you look bigger. You are not on drugs. So what else are you going to do? You're going to painfully grind and gain small amounts of muscle. You're not going to look that much different in a lean state. But when you're bulked, you can go from looking like, okay, I look aesthetic to boom, you look massive. Body fat is the secret to looking massive as a natural. You always look bigger in a bulk state, period. So it doesn't matter. Let's say you gain 1 or 2 pounds of muscle max. First of all, to me, that's worth it because it's good. And secondly, even if the amount would be minimal, you still look way bigger. So you're doing it for the looks. It's the appearance. You know how some people get tattoos? Some people get haircuts? All the illusion strategies I'm always talking about, wearing good clothes, having a right beard, all that, that's what you're doing. It's an illusion strategy. You're gaining fat to make yourself appear larger as a natural. And I'm telling you that you will look larger if you are a natural. You'll hear this a lot by some people. They'll say either you're going to be the sucked up aesthetic natural, but then you take the shirt off and you look amazing, or you're the bulked up, chubby looking guy. Isn't there some truth to that statement to a certain degree? I think you're going to look great in a fluffier state, period. But hey, to each your own. But anyway, besides that, the primary benefit is the looks. And I happen to think that it's a badass look. Some would even argue that it looks better than the aesthetic physique. Let me ask you, what do you prefer, aesthetics or bear mode? If I'm honest, I lean more towards the fluffier side. I think it looks more badass, personally. When you're just hairy and fluffy, I think it looks cool. But hey, that's what I'm saying. It's about the looks. I've always found it humorous when people say, man, you only look big because of the body fat. The way I see it, it's like, you have succeeded. If someone is complimenting you saying that you look big because of the body fat, they're in effect saying body fat makes you look bigger. Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that your goal? I can imagine that for any skinny guy, that would be a huge compliment that someone's actually saying you look big. Think about this for a second, man. If you look bigger and people are telling you that it's bigger because of body fat, then body fat makes you look more massive. And like I'm always saying, the range doesn't have to be fat. The bear mode range that I've identified is 15-20% body fat, okay? Look at Alan Thrall at 22% body fat, okay? I'm telling you, it's leaner than you think. But it's still enough cushion to get you that massive look and appearance. So it's not a fat look, it's just a fluffier look. And it does make you look bigger, man. And people will say that you look bigger. I'm telling you that people will say that you look bigger when you are in a bulk state, all right? Because it's the truth, you do. I speak from experience as well when I talk about this. I might look better with my shirt off, doing special poses and stuff, but when I was in a relaxed state, bear mode, I look bigger, 100%. No question about it. Second benefit is recovery. And this comes down to the fact that you're simply eating more food. You are in a calorie surplus. So what does this guarantee? well, you're going to gain all kinds of strength and mass. You can't screw it up. Whenever I hear guys saying, man, I'm struggling to make these gains, I'm not recovering properly, it's always some dude who's maintenance or in a very slight deficit. The moment you enter a surplus, guess what? You are 100% accountable for your training system. If you're not making gains in a surplus, then it means that your programming is off. So bulking will teach you how to train correctly. And when you do couple amazing programming with a calorie surplus, you make all kinds of gains. Simple as that. All kinds of muscle gains, strength gains, etc. And your recovery is through the roof because you're eating so much food. And that's another benefit. Don't you love to eat, especially in the wintertime? Why do you think there are bulking and cutting seasons? Roll with the seasons. It's getting cold outside right now. I noticed that my appetite's been increasing. Maybe I'll go back to bear mode now. Who knows? But that's what I'm saying. It's the wintertime. You're hungrier. You don't want to do calorie restriction. You don't want to count anything. You just want to stuff your face. Hey, bulking gives you that freedom. Bulking is the happy life. Bulking is, hey, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to go to the buffet and eat 5-6 plates. I'm going to go to a restaurant once a week if I feel like it. I'm going to make big freaking meals and have it all in one sitting. I'm going to eat 500 grams of pasta in one sitting. You know what I'm saying? You're eating a lot of food. You're enjoying life, enjoying the good life. Now, that could be good and bad. You know, you might overeat, you might dirty bulk, which is not something that I recommend. Although dirty bulking certainly gets you results. But hey, you're enjoying life. You get to eat more food. For some people, that's a terrible thing because they're going to gain too much fat, or it's putting a lot of stress on their bodies, or they might use that as an excuse to eat junk. But if you do it the right way, it's all good. So one thing that everybody reports when they're bulked up is that their strength increases. It just happens. You get way, 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 way stronger. It's unbelievable. Go from 160 to 190, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, the gains are real. These are quantifiable things. So recovery is a big, big, big factor. When you train hard, you don't get beat up as much because you're piling in all this food. You're in a calorie surplus, dude. It's always going to be better. Like the way that I do things now with the recomping, it's not as good for gaining strength. Bulking will always be the best method, period. And then for the final benefit, bulking literally changes your leverages. For some movements, you'll be able to lift so much more simply because you packed on some body fat. The prime example being the bench press. Like, if I went back to bear mode, I am pretty sure that I hit a 405 like this, instant. Because the leverages would be better. The range of motion would decrease. I would be thicker. And as they say, and as some powerlifters like to say, there's more cushion for the pushing. There's some truth to that. Look up what J.M. Blakely used to say about body fat and bench pressing. So I'm a firm believer that when you bulk up, your leverages increase to such an extent that you feel more like a tank on certain lifts. The bench press is the most common example, but some people report increases in other lifts as well. I've spoken to some guys who say that when they gain weight, the overhead press rises, you know? Some people say that their deadlift increases. There's a reason why weight classes exist. Like a lot of reasons. So let's not nitpick little details here. But I can tell you that if you go from one weight class to the next, there is a performance increase or decrease. If you're a powerlifter, for example, and you go from 181 to 165, there will be a decrease in performance. That is exactly what happened to me. I was 186, I cut down to 160, bench shot down all the way. Obviously, mainly due to the cut, and I built back all that strength. But if I were to regain that weight, there would be more strength. And it would be the same for you, most likely. If you're a 160, if you weigh 165 pounds and you bulk up to the 181 class, you'll probably put up better numbers. I can see your total going up just from that alone. Now, pound for pound might not be as optimal. You might lose some of that ratio. But absolute, okay, that's what I'm getting at here. Absolute strength will typically be greater when you are in a bulked state. And your leverages do increase for certain lifts. Again, the bench press being the prime example here. But some other lifts, you'll see the same correlation going on. And when we factor in the extra recovery, like I talked about before, it makes sense why some of these lifts will go up. So in a way, you are enhancing your physiology through the increased body fat percentage. I don't know how much that will be. That'll be largely dependent upon your own individual build and genetics and all that. But I do know that for certain lifts, you'll automatically be stronger with the higher body fat, which makes bulking a valuable tool because now you're rolling up some big numbers. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's all kinds of other benefits that I can discuss when talking about body fat. Like I was fluffy for years, man. So I got a lot of experience with this. I got a lot of knowledge on the subject. So let me know if you want me to cover this more. Bulking season is coming along now. So let me know. and I'll do my best to help you out.